Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the review, preview, DT's Thoughts. I don't know what the name of the show is going to be, but anyway, welcome, one and all. So hopefully you're here to find out a little bit of information about the comings and goings over the next couple of months at ACCSS, and what we've got in store for you over the next sort of 3 to 8 weeks, essentially, as we head into out of Season 6 and into the Championship Series number 7. We'll start with a little bit of a review and my opinion of how Season 6 went. We were met with some really close racing the first time in so long, where the fields have been really competitive and really fast with each other. There was numerous gold splits races where the top 25 in qualifying were covered by less than a second. So it was really good to see that the guys out there, all of you guys and girls out there, pushing to learn, to grow, to develop, to become faster, to become cleaner, and ultimately have an awesome time out on track with each other. Now, there were some really good numbers, talking of cleanliness, in terms of the incidents in our Tier 5 and our Tier 6 beta test. Multiple reports from Pavel, our head steward, that the stewards managed to do their races as just one steward on their own during those races, which was really good to see. It helps us alleviate the pressure with the amount of volunteers we need to help steward your races when you guys are helping each other to be really clean around the track. Fond memories go back to Kailami in the gold split with two really clean races. With very little incidents, and if there were, it was in your stereotypical turn one, and especially being how wet both those races were for the gold split as well. But we can't hide from the fact that incidents do happen, and we have had to have a few incidents, especially of lack of streams on a Saturday night, where the driving standards just aren't up to scratch, and we can't be broadcasting that to everyone. So hopefully, going forward, when we reach to our Season 7 points in this short little show, we've made a few changes to help next season improve the driving standards, because most importantly, we want you to have clean and fun racing. Yes, it's going to be fast, yes, it's going to be furious, but at the end of the day, if you're all being hit off every corner, it doesn't lead to a fun experience. So the last parts of Season 6 is essentially to thank, it's to congratulate all the champions, actually, across all 6 tiers, and a big noticeable congratulations goes out to Jensen, Teague, Horrier and Chirabal. Obviously Jensen being the Tier 1 champion, and I believe he took 6 wins out of a possible 9 throughout the season. But all 4 of those have been entered into the elite field of your band drivers this season. So big round of applause to you 4 drivers. Also want to go out and thank all of this season's staff. We've had a couple of new staff members come on board, a couple of new stewards come on board that have been exceptional helps throughout the past sort of 5 weeks of the season, and hopefully they're going to stay embedded in with you guys throughout the foreseeable future and into the extended and the future that is on the horizon. So thank you to all the new staff, and also thank you to all the staff and the stewards, and most importantly the admins as well. Those guys have spent a lot of time behind the scenes, which you guys don't see, and we're all volunteers. None of us take very little, if anything, towards putting on your races, and all of the admins are volunteers. All of the staff, all of the stewards, all give up their time, and they all look to put on some fantastic races for you guys. If there's something you would want to look into in the future, then feel free to contact myself or any of the admins to volunteer some of your time in going into next season and beyond. Now, as you can see on the screen, we'll come away from me talking and show you some of the stuff we've got on the screen. The next thing up on our calendar is the Teams Unite Suzuka 12-hour endurance race. Now, that has been moved to the Saturday of the 19th of June, a day earlier than it was originally planned, due to some other clashes with some other endurance events. Unfortunately, there are still other endurance events on this day. It's a very popular weekend by the looks of it in the middle of June. So we try to fit it in as best as we can. Obviously, we're raising money, and you can see below me we have our little £1,000 target for Teams Unite, and You guys have done really, really well, and I'm really, really thankful for the amount of money that some of you have raised. There is, again, one person in particular that has put a large sum into that, and there'll be more added from the Twitch income from this season once that payout marker is reached. So hopefully we'll be able to get closer to sort of the £500 mark before we start the race to hopefully fill the goal during the race itself. So that is the Suzuka 12 hour. Now we're going to head a little bit into what we've got coming up in the future. And first, it's going to be a few changes. There's going to be a few changes around the Discord, and there's going to be a few changes in who you are meant to be communicating with and where that is. Now, I say unfortunately, it's very lucky for myself. I've been offered a position to go and help out at Euro 2020 this year as a volunteer at Wembley Stadium throughout most of June and July. Now, because of this, you're going to still see me on the track and still see me in the chat, but Nicholas Norberg has offered to step up and help be more of a day-to-day running or front man, as it were, for ACCSS. So he's going to be there to help keep the things going through day to day, along with the other admins, but he is going to be the guy to go to if you just simply can't get hold of me. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be between 8 and 10 hour days, at least 5 days a week throughout June and July, helping out at the Euros. So it's going to be very difficult for me to get off and have a look at Discord to see what you guys are getting up to. Hopefully I'll be able to join you all on track, however, which I really look forward to doing. Now, let's get into the juicy gossip. And we're going to start with the really important one for you guys. And some of you have been doing really, really well. And that is going to be, we're going to revamp the support races on a Sunday night and bring you the ACCSS support series. Now, across every weekend for the whole of Season 5, you will get an opportunity on a Friday night to drive the Porsche Cups, on a Saturday night to drive the Lambo Super Trofeos, and on Sunday nights to be able to drive the GT4s. Now, these are open for anyone to enter, whether you're in the championship or not. You don't need to have evaluated. You don't need to have done anything before. Just go on to SGP when they become live during the same sort of time that the championship becomes live and sign yourself up. They're going to be short, quick, 20-minute support races that lead into the big show at the end, which is going to be the Championship Series races itself. Now, you're going to be experiencing the same weather and track conditions as the pros and the gold drivers. Again, you may have noticed we use a little bit of different terminology there because that's what we're going to be changing to, and we'll come to that later on. But so you're going to have a few more tackling difficulties on the track with mixture of wet, dark, night races to dry, scorching, hot, middle of the day races. So lots of variety there for you. So instead of just having the one support race on a Sunday evening, we're going to be splitting them across all 3 days of the weekend and give you opportunity to drive every single type of car every single week on ACCSS. Now, with that said, let's move into the juicy gossip that is Season 7. And this is the one you've been waiting for. We've titled it The Big One because the tracks are superb. Now, we've given you the best track options this season. We're going to start off at the home of British Motorsport, which is Silverstone. That is going to be our season opener. We're going to then jump on our plane, fly all the way over to Japan and head on down to Suzuka for another good, really quick, fast double header. Travelling back into Europe, we're going to head over to Spa in Belgium. We're going to be going as fast as we can up Eau Rouge and Raidillon, straight down the Kemmel Straits, then hopefully not cause a massive pile-up at the end. After that, if that track wasn't tricky enough for you, we're going to head to everyone's favourite. Mount Panorama is going to be our round 4 track this season. It's going to be a scorcher for all of our top-tier drivers. And then we're going to end it at the classic Nürburgring finale. For the 1 hour final finale race, we're going to be heading to the streets of Germany for a Nürburgring showdown. Hopefully, you guys are going to enjoy the track choice. We want to give you something that's going to be really, really comfortable, really, really fun, and also for the ones that want to push the boat out, it's going to be really, really challenging. This is going to be one where you're going to be wanting to bring your best cars to the races. Now, what sort of changes have we got for this season? Well, a few things. The Tier 5 and Tier 6 sort of beta test this season has run really, really well, as I mentioned earlier. So we're going to be putting that across all 6 tiers this season. So that means we're going to go up from 150 slots to 192 slots available for all the drivers that want to take part. They're going to be split across 6 splits, with rookies and AMs being renamed from tier 6 and tier 5. They're going to take part on the Friday night as per normal. Then our tier 4s, which are now bronze drivers, and our tier 3s, which are now named silver, are going to be taking part on the Saturday evening. And then we head to the big showcase finale with our gold drivers, our tier 2s, and our pro drivers, our tier 1s, coming at you live on a Sunday evening for some fast, thrilling action. Now, each grid is going to be made up of 32 drivers instead of the 50, but they're all going to be competing for 20 points paying positions, and that's going to go up from the 15 that we've had so far this season. Now, the one big change which is going to make a lot of people happy and also a lot of people sad as well is we're going to be giving your band drivers a little bit of a treat. And now, from now on going forward, if you are to get your band in a season, so that is to finish with 3 wins in the pro split, or finish the top 3 positions, you are going to be your band. Now, what that means is you are going to be guaranteed a slot in pro for the next season to compete alongside the best drivers that sign up and evaluate in a full-fledged competition. Now, before we've had pro drivers or your band drivers take part in the tier 1 and tier 2 showdowns, but they've been invitational drivers and they've only been really competing against themselves. But now we've got a massive field of your band drivers and a massive field of talent sitting there helping out on the weekends in stewarding, helping out, giving grief to the gold drivers on a Sunday while they're qualifying. But now we want to get them on track and we want to get them integrated to make all of the faster guys even faster. So the pro split will be made up of all the band drivers that want to sign up, and then the rest of the splits will go to the top qualifying drivers. So if you receive 3 wins in gold this season, you will also become your band, and the top 3 of gold will also become your band as well. We're going to have a little play around with that idea this season, but essentially there's going to be more opportunities for you guys to get yourself into that pro class to where the big names are. Let's have a little look at my list here to see what I haven't covered this evening. The aim is to keep this as short as possible, so I'm just going to go through all my points to check to make sure. Coming away from Season 7 really quickly, the Solo Endurance Series will end at Nürburgring in 2 weeks' time while we take that to the drawing board. And just to make a few extra changes, obviously the participation numbers have been really, really low. For the past few weeks, we want to make it as engaging and as competitive as we possibly can. Gone are the days now, we're still here to coach the rookies and the AMP drivers, but gone are the days where we only cater to those. We're becoming a real force in the sim racing simuverse, essentially. And we want to be spreading that joy across to as many people and make us as open and as acceptable to as many people as we possibly can. We're very nearly at 2,000 members in the Discord and 1,000 members on 1,000 drivers, on Sim Racing GP. So I can't thank you guys enough for putting the effort in, for racing every week, for evaluating as we ask you to, and for taking part in all the sort of extracurriculars that we have on offer. Now that is going to be the end from me this season. The last thing it's for me to say is to keep your Monday nights free, and there's some more news on that coming soon. But for me, for now, that is the end of the preview and review show. I'll be hanging around in the Discord for a little bit for a few questions. There'll be a few announcement posts going up this evening, so I apologise for the pings now. But enjoy your evening, guys, and we'll see you at Suzuka in a couple of weeks' time.
Ignition, count to 0. I just wanna be a superhero. With fearless thoughts, emotions swirl. I wanna be the man that saves the world.